Get on it.
Maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
As soon as possible, talk about it.
Your shit was fine.
I said hi. We're gonna start the clock here. Welcome to Brett's with Friends, my third episode. I am accompanied by Wil Kirkham. He's an entertainer, a teacher, an impressionist, and bird dude.
Dad.
And is there anything I'm leaving out? Welcome to the show. This is, it's pretty raw. It's pretty casual. We got about 25 minutes to keep this rolling. And tell us a little bit about you and what you're working on. We know you're, I understand you've got a lot of different things going on. So let's just start.
Well, thank you, Brett. What a great introduction. Between the beer and the firewood, I can't decide what is better in this shot that I'm looking at actually right now. I'm waiting for you just to say it doesn't get any better than this. Something along those lines.
I got a little heater here now. It makes it a lot better. I'm a lot more. It's cold.
Yeah, well, aren't you in what part? Aren't you in Oregon right now, or what part?
Yeah, I'm in Salem, Oregon.
That's right. There, it's awfully chilly this time of year, but it adds a wintry spirit. That's why it looks like Christmas trees everywhere. And now Oregon's the place to be.
Us to your friend on your shoulder.
That's my son, Macloud Kirkham. He's the member of the family, the lineage. Yeah, he's 12. And he's been on the billboard for Bound magazine, and he's in Australia on Bound magazine's cover. And he did a photo shoot when he was 10, and they put him on the cover. So he's of celebrity status. And when he heard Dad was going to be on an interview today, he pretty much said, he goes, "Look, Dad, I'll be damned you're not going to let me be in this interview. I mean, come on. What are you without me? I'm in danger. Look what happened in Australia. I lost 1 billion of us. There's like 8 billion of you. There's too many talking monkeys. We're going to get something done, Dad." That's pretty much what happened. He talked his way onto the set. And now, here he is. He's taking over the show.
He's taking
He's
it
gonna
over.
fly away. He flies. His wings aren't clipped in any way. He has full reign of the house. These are his crayons. As you can see,
He draws too.
He's Legos.
He's an artist. He does Crayola crayons.
Crayons, creates stuff out of plastic. That's right. He's constantly making things out of Lego. He's up to the adult Legos now. We got a whole thing on my Instagram at Captain Kirkham. It's CAPT, kind of like Captain Crunch, but at CAPT Kirkham, like Captain Kirk was a ham, played by Captain Kirkham. Yeah, so if you want to plug that in there, you got tons of Macloud on there. Macloud. It's really not so much a narcissistic site of a bunch of pictures of me all over the world. It's a lot more of Macloud's intelligence and skill and proficiency and some other sharing some other wonderful people or whatever makes this place more entertaining for all of us to live in. So hope that helps out, Brett. And thanks for being here. I'm glad you brought Macloud into the fray.
Yeah,
how about that firewood? Did you chop that firewood behind you?
Yeah, I whittled that. I'm going to make toothpicks.
Wow.
It's a hobby. We have so much time on our hands right now.
That's I got to tell you right there.
Now and making big pieces of wood into small pieces of wood. Boy, what a hell of a year. So wait.
Compartmentalizing.
Give us a glimpse into your life in LA. How long have you been in LA? When did you move there? Where you're from? What are your likes? What are your colors? And give us a
you're coming with the heavy questions here, huh? You're really. Yeah. Okay. Well, I see is showing no mercy. Macloud made sure he looked good in the mirror, obviously, and now he's back. Oh, so I'm going to use him here as a diffuser. diffuser. I arrived here in the 90s, and I was attracted to. I did a television show in Hawaii called Island Performance, and I decided to leave Hawaii and come out here into entertainment when I was 18 and to pursue Wing Chun, which was very unpopular at the time and was this legendary martial art that was very hard to find. And these children of Ip Man, or is Yip Man in Cantonese, Yip Chun and Yip Ching had only one school on the whole West Coast that was certified under their name. And Sifu Tay was the instructor. So I started going to the school every day until I'd open and close the school and became an instructor for Sifu Tay and ended up in the front page of the Burbank newspaper, teaching at the Yip Ching and Yip Chun's, the official, grandmasters of Wing Chun's martial arts school at 20 years old. So I went from there to start getting celebrity students. And I got a bunch of downtown Julie Brown, actually, was my first student, if you want to date me, as far as time stamp to how old I am. Downtown the first, yeah, she was lovely, darling. One of the first DJs of MTV. Yes, lovely downtown Julie Brown, darling. She hated boxing with her nails. I'll break my nails, darling, in those gloves. I hate boxing. I just want to use my fist.
She was tall. I saw her at a restaurant one time. She was really tall.
About close to my height. She's almost 5'10", maybe. I'd say about that.
Maybe so. She's had heels on or something.
I'm 6 feet tall, so she was she was almost eye level with me. So, but regardless,
with you in heels, you'd be a little taller.
Oh, I've never been there, but I probably never will be. That's funny how that happens. Right, Macloud?
It's not really baby.
Not my bag, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
You'll never see in the 90 years Sean Connery was on the planet. I doubt you'll ever see any knickers or heels on any photos on tabloids. That's for sure.
Yeah, they we lost like some Eddie Van Halen, some Kobe's. We've lost. This has been a dead zone of celebrity.
Well, if you were them, would you stick around? I mean, when you've seen it at like Hugh Hefner with triplets, and Stephen Hawking is partying, on campus in Oxford before he's losing it. And, and you're the Grateful Dead are touring, the government's making psychedelic projects around the United States to use as a weapon to keep people from being communists. I mean, what an experiment that's going on right now. And then to this reality TV, spy life, Facebook, life invader network. God forbid if anybody's a stalker, a killer, murderer, serial killer, you can just track anyone you're interested in, family, the relatives, where they went to school, their high school alumni, the kids on their football team. You can get them like Ace Ventura, Finkel, and Einhorn. You can go through the whole Miami Dolphin team, with just someone's Facebook and Instagram. Every one of their friends, where they go, what they do, their life, their favorite color, where they live. It's ridiculous. All the spy technology we put trillions of dollars of defense budget and tax-paying dollars into for 50 years of the Cold War went on to us, the civilians, and we're using it like the stuff that's in the James Bond movies is now in our hand, and we knows where we are, what we do before we know what we do. You go to a doctor talking about something, next thing you got an advertisement on your phone telling you about the same thing. Are you having problems with this or that, or blood loss, or this and this, or these levels, or these hormones, or any of this? And you're like, wait a minute, how the hell did you know that? And it's a spy constantly wherever you go. So it's a weird, strange world how we're not on Saturn or like Io or Jupiter or Neptune by now, but we're dealing with these technology of video games and surveillance devices and technology instead. That's where our money and focus went.
Do you think it's bringing us closer together or farther apart?
I don't think there's an us. I think everyone looks at their neighbor as an enemy. I think they look at them as a possible threat. Whether it's they could, molest your child or rape your daughter or kill your dog or, and burn down your house when you're away, or that they're going to beat you at the corporate job level on the next raise and promotion, or they're going to get the PS5 at the store before you did in line because they got there 30 seconds and you didn't cut them off and run faster than them. It's becoming so competitive to be with the whole American unity. I mean, what American unity is there compared to like Japan? When something happens to another Japanese person in Japan, all the Japanese people unite as one to deal with it. or even Wuhan when the thing broke out, and how the Chinese people united together. They're all Chinese, a billion of them work together. It's like when you watch insects, you watch ants, and then you watch honeybees, and then we're like cockroaches. Well, we're like, hey, get out of here! You don't cut me off. Hey, fuck you, buddy. Hey, Nick, I'll shoot you with my rifle. And then you get down, it's like, oh yeah, hey, what's coming out? Crack a mother, and then you're like, orderly, you in my neighborhood, Holmes? Get out of here, gringo. And you get all this stuff, and it's like so bad. And it's like it's cockroaches all attacking and bidding from on top, climbing on the top of each other, trying to get as much food as they can and fatten up and keep it away from all the other roaches. It's really it's a sick psychological mentality that it needs to be responsible, accountable for it, accept it, be self-aware, and then do something from that point on, like an addict or an obese person or anyone else that has a problem that they can change through becoming aware and making a change from that point on.
Can I ask you a quick question? What's your daily exercise routine?
Wow. Probably, a mixture of some gymnastics with Aikido and Jiu-Jitsu and Kung Fu and some Tong Soo and stuff that some Wing Chun, and I have a wooden dummy behind you, a Mongjiang, and to keep my hands and knuckles in shape. And, I have occasional world champions stop by, so if they need work and hold mitts, or we'll go have lunch and get something to eat. You'll find some of them on my Instagram as well. And I taught for Gene LaBelle, and I had Bruce Lee's old job for a while there, and I worked with Benny the Jet and Bob Wall, so a friend, and gave me a black belt. And
so you're in pretty good shape.
I did, well, yeah, and I did stunts, Hollywood stunts, you know what I mean? And I'm friends with the great Terry Leonard, gave me my first job in Hollywood, actually. And then, of course, Gene LaBelle put me on his stunt team there for Missy's Action Heroes. God bless her soul. Missy passed away a year and a half ago, so it's just rough right now. As far as workout wise, I pretty much have a plethora of stuff that's around martial arts and gymnastics. I don't delve into yoga or track or football on the weekends, or stuff I used to do in my youth and play pickup basketball in the courts and all that stuff when I was younger, and I had the knees for it. Now in my older years, I stay pretty Chuck Norris about it. Carlos Norris, as I like to tell people.
What's a good diet like? Like, do you do the raw egg thing in a cup?
No meat. Just anything that was living, don't eat it. Your body doesn't. Eventually, it rejects it. It develops cancers from it. There's anomalies in your genetic code. Your protein breaks apart. On a cellular level, the meat comes back and gets you. Always, whether it's polyps in your colon, or if it's going to be digestive or thyroid glands or other things filtering out the hormones and the enzymes, and plus the stuff they pump into it. Just stay away from the meat. It's the best thing to do, and just get as plant as you want.
Are you doing like
everything else on the planet? I mean, the planet is full of all this stuff that is not living, like Macloud behind me playing with Legos and throwing around silverware. Yeah. It's full of stuff that's not. Is that a wife?
That's my mom.
Even better. Well, I could tell. I saw the love and the you couldn't deny her existence for whatever was going on. It's like, okay, reality. I know, but I'm in the middle of this. I'm doing a thing.
Let's keep on track.
All right. Well, the main track is this. You know what? So anyone watching will understand. I got to LA 25 years ago, and I teach martial arts and I entertain for a living. Some of the celebrities that are students of mine are Steve-O from Jackass, or Kevin from the Backstreet Boys, or Downtown Julie Brown. And I've worked with some of the greatest world champions that you've ever worked with, and Pacquiao and Mayweather helped me get a discount on all the equipment from my own school in Hollywood and Highland. Tell us
a little bit about Pacquiao. What kind of?
Pacquiao he's one of the fighters of Freddie Roach is Pacquiao. As far as only way I know him, other than Filipino and Tagalog. Ring. Some of my best friends are Filipino. With that being, in Hawaii there's Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, a little Samoan, and Hawaiian sprinkled in, but mainly there's very few haoles like yourself, or other ethnicities. It's a Polynesian thing, right. And the Filipinos is a large ethnic group there, and they have a very big influence. So I have a warm place in my heart for that group, and like I said, one of my best friends growing up that taught me how to quarterback and run the option when I moved there from Texas. was Maldonado, who's a Filipino and an amazing person with amazing family and children, some of them that rank up in the top of the state in different track and field events. And he's an amazing father and a husband. I'm glad to be friends. But anyway, that's it. I went from Hawaii. I went to 17 schools, lived in 23 cities. I've had 9 legal guardians, and I've been in LA for 25 years and teaching martial arts to celebrities for 2 decades. I hosted as an entertainer the Soho House here in Beverly Hills or West Hollywood, and I've hosted the downtown one that just opened for music and karaoke with people like Beyonce and Debbie Davala that just did the Super Bowl and people like that. And it's stuff that's on the Instagram as well and stuff that's promotional so that people come into those establishments and spend more money and economically stimulate the American economy in those places so they stay open and that people can enjoy them in the future when they hear about it during this podcast or any info they hear about martial arts or working with these entertainers because they're interested in Wing Chun, Aikido, and Tong Soo and Ed Parker and Bob Wall and Gene LaBelle or any of that stuff. I work with people from the NFL and the NBA and et cetera for decades because of gathering knowledge, hard work, and sharing it with people here in the community. I haven't eaten any babies, and I don't go to any particular, cult lizard meetings, so I'm not rich and famous. But I have some friends and students who are. I'm quite aware of.
I knew this was going to happen. And so I knew this was going to happen. What's the deal? You don't really think Hillary Clinton and Tom Hanks are eating babies, do you? If they're eating babies, they'd be.
Oh, well. First of all, Well, QAnon, from what I understand, there was a documentary that came out on the Military Channel and on Investigation Discovery about a JPL engineer in the 1930s and 40s that not only was affiliated with the Nazi Party, but then political leaders in Los Angeles, up in Glendale, that was running a satanic cult that ate babies, which is a real life thing that happened and it's documented and it's a fact, not a myth. So to deny that 30 or 40 years later something similar could be going on when milk cartons are full of missing children instead of beer bottles and cigarette packs have missing kids on them with someone who could actually do something about it, instead of children who have milk cartons in school getting their chocolate milk or their regular milk and they're like, hey, she's missing, he's missing, what the hell are we going to do about it? I've got third period after this. So it's the relevance of how we put information in front of children, put information in front of adults. We do anything about it. All these children were just saved 30 or 40 at a time, by the Defense Department or for the military and Homeland Security or whatever. They were DEA. I don't believe in aliens. I believe that life from this planet is in a solar system and a universe full of C, A, T, and G. And those proteins make up the building blocks of human beings and many other organisms on Earth as we know it. That C, A, T, and G is all over the known universe, not only been discovered frozen in asteroids and other areas, but also we've found evidence of it coming from other planets and places in our own solar system alone. Earth is not a center of ego, narcissistic planet like everything started here. We're just another organism that obviously, and all the organisms and all the aminos and proteins that travel all over our known solar system that we're in and we can look at and feel and go in and out of with a hot air balloon, by the way. You don't need to build a spaceship, guys. Just make a hot air balloon and wait long enough. You'll be up there just like the Red Bull guy. You'll get there. Point being, send a drone, a little thing, send a little remote control thing, build a hot air balloon, make it happen. Where's Mr. Science when you need him in the 80s? The guy, come on, where's that? Right? So anyway, now that's just for all my flat Earth folks out there. Hot air balloon, camera, cell phone, make it happen. All right. So with that whole one science project after another, science is the study of truth. Let's be honest. If you meet a person and they lie to you, you don't like them. So if you say anything is this and that and it's dishonest, you don't like it either. Whether you want to call it science or religion or faith or Scientology or Christianity or guacamole or, almonds or peanut butter, whatever it is, you have to be honest. And if you're not, as soon as you start deceiving people with something, a product or, a religion or a technology, a science, a way of believing anything or understanding anything, people are going to feel, jaded and they're going to be skeptical, and they have to be. It's a natural defense mechanism. So I think that as long as we go for honesty and truth, whether in a Platonic Greek sense philosophically, whether in a Carl Jungian William James sense, whether in a two guys in a pickup truck fishing on a back hole for little smallmouth bass and bigmouth bass and tossing them back in. I don't care what it is. If you're wherever you are, pulling out rice paddies in, Samoa, or out there in, in Hong Kong, Beijing, and Shanghai, in Bangladesh over there, and petting an elephant inside of it, doesn't matter. Just be honest with the elephant, the tiger, you know what? As soon as you're not honest with the animal, it attacks you. Carol Baskin's never in the cage with the animals. At least Joe Exotic and the other guys are at least in the cages playing with the animals, giving the animal the chance to end them. She's smart. She knows not to get near the animals or Homelander right away. So that being said, I'm glad that you got a chance to have this opportunity to share this with anybody on the planet, or keep record, or Captain's log, stardate 7584, the year 2020, the apocalyptic plague, a biochemical weapon that was released and brought out to the coronavirus, which there's a patent on online, also was now released into the public, and now is becoming mutated, and the virus has come out, and we know it's going to keep you locked in your home like V for Vendetta. And one day a cure will come out magically when new people get elected, and then everything will go into a more organized police-like state. Oh, this was in a movie. What did I say? This vivacious, victorious, alien,
doing a trippy thing I sometimes think about is, when, hold on, you guys, I'm doing a show real quick. It's like, we gotta make an edit now. But,
not at all. That's so real. People want to see real. See, that's the problem. No more editing. No more. You got to give them the goods.
I just have a feeling this is going to run long.
Hey, man, this reality television, man, this reality television has got to get to honesty television. It needs to change from reality TV to honesty TV. No cuts, no edits. People just got to see the truth all the time. Keep it, man. It's so real. And you know what? Makes you more lovable, makes you more personable, makes you more vulnerable, makes you more sensitive, makes you care and concerned and considerate for your family and friends while they're taking care of their life. Everyone doesn't have to stop and shut down a bubble around you like you're some wizard casting a spell. You actually are sharing your environment. Yeah, see, there you go.
No, it wasn't. Anyways, no, I get it.
Okay, go back to the original question. Do I believe Qui-Gon has any lividity? Because of the historical evidence in the United States, locally close by to me here in Glendale, by LA, California, and Hollywood, where I live. Yes, unfortunately, I believe that there is some trails or traces of it, as there are traces of the Knights of the Golden Circle, the Nazi Party, the KKK, the Thule Society. There's traces and trails and fragments of all the Committee of 300, the Bilderbergers, the Bronfmans, and the Rothschilds, and the Vanderbilts, and on and on. You could get on about it. The point is there's traces of all those cults left. The traces of Christianity, Catholicism. I mean, I could go on about traces of stuff left in our modern day society all around, whether it's chopping off the end of our foreskin or some of our daily rituals. I could get on and on about how, traces of different things and ancestry worship are in our society.
This is the question I wanted to ask you a couple of minutes ago. It seems like when I was watching the Avengers, the Endgame, with Thanos snapping his fingers, and it was always really weird to me that there was such a specific number of him wiping out 1/3 of the planet, and by snapping his fingers.
Half, like Eddie Murphy's wife. Half Eddie.
No, it was 1/3.
Half Eddie.
No,
half.
It was where it was like I think it was.
No, it's half. It's 50%. I'm great with that.
Okay, so and then the COVID happened about 6 months after the movie was released. Do you think there's tie-ins with the media?
No. Actually, I did see some. I noticed Netflix and a couple of other television applications started putting Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman and with Morgan Freeman, talking to Dustin Hoffman. He goes, well, I'm not moving this plane. I'm not moving the plane. You need to move that plane out of the way or they can't make the drop. And so when you see Outbreak, and well, you can't let this weapon get loose. We made the weapon. We can't tell the public that. That's why we know there's a cure. We made the thing. It's a weapon that was released into the public. So Morgan Freeman, who's kind of AKA God, thespian-wise, he is telling you what's going on 30 years ago. And then all of a sudden you're just seeing it kind of play out exactly like the movie. like a wag the dog. Dustin Hoffman is really specific. He's great about that. He goes and finds parts in films which are very honest and true, but people don't even realize it. And then 20, 30 years later, they're like, oh, wow, Tootsie. Oh, wow, Kramer versus Kramer. Oh, wow, Midnight Cowboy. Oh, wow, Wag the Dog. Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, there's a good like thing online where this guy does shows about the 10 things you should know about a certain movie, and that he's got Outbreak on one of them too. Also, Critical Drinker is a really great podcast. He's a really great isn't that perfect, right? There you go.
That's so great.
And
I think it's great. I do, honestly. I think it's I think it's top notch.
It's perfect.
Yes.
But like it just is what the fuck? I just lost my train of thought there for a second.
No, you said that you were saying with Outbreak being relevant to the times was Thanos' snap of 50%. What Thanos' snap represents is an ideal that the United States went around overpopulating the earth by giving food and aid to people that shouldn't have had it through natural selection, unfortunately, and created triple the population in 50 years. Russia and China aren't known for so much going around and giving food and resources to people that shouldn't have had it or didn't have it or should have moved to where it was located through selective natural process. Unfortunately, by doing so, now they'd become codependent on us. Then we strategically use their resources and manipulate their economy or them for a military staging point. And now you have all that mess and ugliness, and now you have those ties to it. It's like keeping people staying over your house and not paying rent. And you keep putting them in different places and stashing them in different places so that you could. One of them's a drummer, and occasionally you need a drummer. And one of them's like can play guitar. Occasionally, one of them's an editor, and you need an editor sometimes. But it's not all the time. And you don't have a real relationship with each of them. And there's no unity, and there's no unified community or city, states, or country, or any kind of government sharing of wealth or empire of any kind, or whatever you want to call it, collective anything. It's just some subjugated serf kind of feudal system in a larger territorial sense. And by invading or taking or showing up and giving aid and freedom, even though we're technically Republicans and a republic for which we stand here, we go around and give democracy to everyone. I don't know why, when we are a republic, I don't know why we're going out and giving democracy when we're Republicans and we stand by a republic and we're more republic oriented and less democratic. And the word Democrat has become an evil word in itself. So going out with our policy, our foreign policy and our military funding from our grandparents and our own money to fund the military to go give democracy to these nations sounds a little strange. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
It's almost like the Native American people that live right below us, aka Eskimo, Indian, Latino. Those are Native Americans conquered by Spain, England, or France. They're not Latinos. Latin comes from Europe. That's like saying the Moors conquered Spain for 300 years, so all the Spaniards are morons, and all the Spanish conquistadors were moranos. And all the morons and moranos came over because the Moors were in them for 300 years and conquered them. So now they're moranos forever. They're not Latinos. They're Native Americans. They just don't even know their own language anymore because it got erased from the chalkboard. They even know Thailand, they know their language. Ethiopia, they know their language. They don't even have meat in Thailand, and they still know their language for 2,000 years. Here, woo, erased. Poof, like that. But you know what? No shoe contract or endorsement or Academy Awards or presidents of the United States. Hey, Mr. Obama, how you doing? No, anything else for the Native American. The imported African that usually doesn't, the imported African slaves for 60 to 70 years that have more privileges than white women when they're freed, and white women trail behind them as a fullback running through the hole to get voting rights, workers' equality rights, and other privileges and equal pay behind them as a running back, where the Native American still isn't allowed on the bus with Rosa Parks. There is no water fountain for the Native American. There was no sign. There was no Native American sign.
We're gonna have
they don't even have.
We'll have to have you on the show because we got to wrap it up. The time has come, baby. We got to wrap it up. Give us this went a little bit long, but we'll have you on for another show if you want to do another show. But I gotta keep these.
Well, you know what? Look, there's a whole can of worms in this country that needs to be accountable, responsible. As I'm an American citizen of African, Native American, and of Caucasian descent, and I'm here to speak and be accountable for our actions and responsible to make them better, with solutions. Like I think Werner von Braun said it. Is that we run on solutions, not problems. Yes, we don't run on problems. We run on solutions. So I think that helped NASA get into space and allowed them that kind of mentality and motto it pierces through all of the stratosphere and the atmosphere of what we know of what's capable and the unknown. I think we should do that consciously. I look forward to talking to you in the future and sharing some of this stuff that we have and hearing more about who's running back there chopping that wood, working, and what's going on with the family unity and all the natural fibers and wood there, the trees and the air, and hear more about what's going on with Brett, because these people tune in for you. I'm just another.
No, they don't tune in for me. Trust me. I'm just a conduit. I'm the bridge. I want it to be about you and the guests. I'm only here to support and maybe interject a couple times. But I actually
Macloud runs this bridge over here. Macloud, Lieutenant Commander Macloud, you can see is right here. He's been in the shot as much as possible because yeah,
he's like a cloud.
Yeah,
he's a cloud in the house. So
all of them are all the martial arts and all of that stuff always comes up to protect animals and the innocent, and people that can't protect themselves. And being aware of any kind of cult or anything that puts children or the innocent in danger is always something to be paid attention, be aware of. It's more important than people that can protect themselves and earn other privileges that other people still don't have in their own land. So it'd be good to talk about it. It'd be good to address that. The indigenous and Native Americans here being called misnamed Eskimos or Latinos and all that, and how many of them are there, and uniting them mentally and get them away from a archaic ancestry worship that's not even their own culture. Stuff like that would be good to address and to make America better than it was yesterday by doing something today.
Yeah, I dig it. Can you remind the people how they can find you? And we'll put little names.
Yeah, really. My GPS location, if you would like to. It's like open the Gracie Challenge. If you want any help, knowledge, or if you have any comments, sure, it'll inspire emotion because that's what makes us human. Hate, anger, love, questions, queries, or information to correct or references and to help enlighten anything or share or to vent. Contact me at Captain Kirkham, and you could find me online on YouTube also under as Wil Kirkham with one L. Captain Kirk was a ham, played by Will Shatner. So it's not too difficult. Kirkham. Kirk is a popular name besides Star Trek. The Kirkland cookware and toilet tissue and all the local stores. Everybody knows Kirkland. It's quite a popular name. So that should hopefully help. It's a good name.
It's a good fucking name.
It's actually it's Richard William Kirkham, which is Dick Willie Kirkham. So that's where I get my charming personality, being called Dick Willie in school, and all the martial arts, 20 broken noses, and a couple world champions, and teaching her, how Bruce Lee's friends. That all comes, and I know Mike Tyson. I know a half a dozen other wonderful individuals that make life a better place and that make the world more livable. And so I'd love to share it with you guys. I have tons of stories.
Can you wish everybody a happy new year 2021, and we'll wrap it up, and I'm gonna leave as well. You can find my stuff. brettwoods.com is my website. Please visit it. I've had it for fucking 20 years. Nobody goes there. It's got my movie, my art, tons of stuff. Wil Kirkham, we shall see you in the future, my friend. Great talk. I'm gonna try to edit this shit together, and we're gonna wrap it up. I think that's about it.
Well,
I'm gonna put your music at the end, so when we're leaving, that your music is playing. So send me an MP3 or something like that, or MP4. And I'd say cheers, but I'm all out of beer. You got me for a beer and a half on this one. But cheers to you. I always say cheers.
Wait a minute. Wait. What type of beer is that exactly? It's like a nuclear symbol on the beer, like a radioactive Alpha Centauri.
Sound familiar?
Wow. That's the closest. I think that's the next closest solar system, right? Or
something like that.
Galaxy. Next galaxy. So Milky Way, Alpha Centauri. That's something like that.
It's all interconnected.
Yes. Oh, well, I look forward to any time I have with you, whether we're on the little camera thing or not. I don't think that National Geographic, the monkeys and the lions, act like monkeys and lions when the camera shows up. I think you are who you are and what you are, and the camera just captures you. You know, pretending to be something you're not when it shows up. It's different.
I think we, at this point, people kind of been asking me about a couple different things because I've been doing these. I think if I can be engaged and I can actually be listening to what you're saying and I'm got truthful response, then that's what it's about. Because if you don't do those things, then it doesn't come off as real, or it just, you know, it's not the same. It's not
genuine, sincere. It's not
Exactly.
It's not sincere at all. It's like when we're sitting in front of each other at the, you know, out in the yard and we're talking and catching up with one another. You know, you lose some of that the breath and bacterial organism, you know, sharing and whatever you'd like to call that connectivity. Quantum entanglement.
I think it's actually connecting us pretty good because I mean, we're all acclimating to. Oh, my light went out. Woo-wee! So we're going overtime, baby. But like, we will do this again. Let's cheers. I'm out of beer. Go get yourself a drink. Let's do this again.
I will.
There's much to talk
brother.
about. All right, cheers.
I will.
All right.
Hey, my love and respect, and have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a Happy New Year.
Perfect. I love it. So I'm going to end the show there, and I'm going to edit this shit together. And thank you very much for your time.
Man, that was great. Like I said, you know, my wife is going to kill me for not shaving and, you know, and being a little stoned. But I think to be honest and real and genuine with people in these times, after 30 years of reality television experiment on the public, I think now people need more than ever just truth. And you know, and to be as real and 100% as you can be, just like when we're in the yard with each other, or like now when we're talking to one another. If you don't give that to everybody, or you don't let them see what it is to be you and to be us, then they could tell, they could feel it, you know, they could sense it. They know that you're like, hey, they're just fucking putting it on. They're just shining us on. I'm wasting my time. I'm not watching anything real. I'm wasting my life. They could feel it. So I think that's, you know, important, and it's going to go over well, man.
It's new media. It's in the now. We're living in the now. Let's do this, and you know, these experiences that we're just documenting nowness. You know,
Be Here, Be Now. Baba Rob Doss, Richard Alpert. One of my favorite books ever. Be Here, Be Now. I love that book. I recommend it.
Okay, right now your music is playing in the background, and we're exiting this episode, the third episode of Brentwood's with Friends, or Brentwood's Friends. All right. See you. Happy 2021. And Cloud, Mr. Macloud, Mr. Macloud, thank you for showing up as well. We appreciate you. We love you. Be well. Be well. Be well. All right. I'm ending this.
All right, brother. I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
I don't know how I think I pressed the click.
Maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
As soon as possible. As soon as possible.
Your shit is